Thank you very much, Wang Yi. William Wong for joining us and sharing that insight. Please stay with us as we stay in this topic now. Now, China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi will visit Pakistan this week for high-level talks aimed at deepening strategic ties. Beijing's foreign ministry confirmed Wang Yi will travel to Pakistan from August 20th to 22nd. During the visit, he will co-chair the sixth round of the China-Pakistan Foreign Ministers Strategic Dialogue alongside Pakistan's Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Muhammad Ishaq Dar. The discussions are expected to focus on regional security, economic cooperation under the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, and broader efforts to strengthen political and diplomatic coordination between the two countries. Now for this discussion, we go back to William Yang. He's a China analyst, joins us live from Taipei. Now, William, thank you for staying with us. And now, how do you think, how genuine is China's commitment to regional stability in South Asia, considering its continued support for Pakistan right after visiting India?
I think this trip shows that for China, the priority in the region is to maintain a very strategic balance. I think on the one hand, it sees a window of opportunity to reduce the level of tensions with India. But at the same time, it continues to prioritize the importance of its long-standing relationship with Pakistan. And we know that India and Pakistan continue to engage in a very tense clash and confrontation in the region, extending from the conflict earlier this year. So for China, I think it's not, fundamentally changing its strategic posture or position, but rather because it sees India reaching out and a window of opportunity to drive down to drive down the temperature of that relationship. So it is willing to engage with India to that extent. But at the same time, it is not going to fundamentally sacrifice its long-standing partnership with Pakistan in order to improve the relationship with India. So I think, as we can see, this is more like China playing a strategic diplomatic balancing game. And India will probably definitely take that into its consideration when it comes to its calculation of how much it can actually rely on improving relations with China.
Yes, and building on your answer, so how might this growing partnership between Pakistan and China influence regional stability, especially with regard to India and US?
So, I think Pakistan now suddenly is also becoming a party in regional affairs that both China and the US are trying to lure over or at least appeal to. Because we know that, on the other hand, while relations between India and the US have deteriorated in recent months, US President Donald Trump has held meetings with top Pakistani military officials at the White House, which also sent another negative signal to the Indian government and the Indian population as a whole. So I think for Pakistan, it is right now enjoying the attention from both China and the United States. And going back to the China-Pakistan relationship, it has long been focusing on improving the connectivity between both countries, and also, for China, it's a very important part of its Belt and Road Initiative, and the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor is a flagship project under that, I think, Belt and Road Initiative. So I think for China and Pakistan, it is to continue to push forward and make progress on that front. But there are, insurgency and terrorism-related security issues that they have to address, and that has been a friction point between China and Pakistan in recent years because of the repeated attack by the local militia on Chinese nationals involved in those projects. And so I think for China, if they can actually address and meaningfully remove or at least address that challenge, then we will see more regional stability extending from the improvement of the security situation revolving around the infrastructure projects in the China-Pakistan economic corridor.
And yes, William, you've also mentioned that there's other projects also ongoing with these economic ties. Don't you think that these economic ties creating long-term dependencies for Pakistan potentially, could it limit its diplomatic options in the future?
I think that has long been a challenge facing a lot of developing countries, especially those that are categorized in the global south. But I think at this particular time, because of the changing foreign policy approach from the United States, it is in fact opening up opportunities for China to actually deepen its engagement, especially on the economic and development front, with all these developing countries that are in dire needs of foreign investment and also foreign loans, or to help improve or build their infrastructure projects. And so, unfortunately, I think in the short term, we are unlikely going to see Pakistan be able to have other alternative options when it comes to balancing its reliance on China. Of course, there is the potential of the European Union offering using their global gateway projects as an alternative. But as of now, that project has not really mapped out its priorities. And so for now, I think Pakistan can only solidly count on China continuing as its major economic collaborator and partner.
Thank you very much, Wang Yi.